Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about how you can start to make money on the Sandbox, what different options are available. Just going to introduce them, talk about what I think some of the opportunities are in these areas, then what some of the challenges / problems are, and hopefully then talk about some solutions and just give my own opinion on how I think people can make money on the Sandbox essentially going forward as a creator. There's no play to earn elements out at the moment yet, as the game hasn't been fully released. So there are two main ways that people are making money on the Sandbox right now, and that's through creating assets or creating games. So I'm going to start with assets first. So basically at the moment, Sandbox have got a creator fund. And what people are doing is they're using VoxEdit, which is Sandbox's software, to build the assets. You create yourself a portfolio. There's an application process to the creator fund, and then Sandbox are then paying people who get accepted into the creator fund. Once you then get accepted into the creator fund, you can then start building your assets and then list them as NFTs on the Sandbox marketplace, and then also sell them there and make money. This marketplace is going to become open to everybody at some point in the future. I don't know when that is. Might be a couple of months, might be longer than that. But at some point, the marketplace is going to open up for everyone to start creating assets and selling them as NFTs on the marketplace. The other option is making games. And the Sandbox are running a number of competitions with prizes of, I've seen ones up to kind of $400,000 worth of sand. And essentially what seems to be going on is big brands are buying large estates on the Sandbox, and obviously they don't have the expertise or capabilities to build things on that land. They don't have the in-house people to do that. So I think what they're probably doing as part of buying that land, they probably also get a package where Sandbox will then outsource the building of kind of their land to the community via competitions. So they're called the game jams, and they usually detail what the game kind of requirements are, what the theme is, etc. And people build games using Sandbox application called Game Maker, and they submit them. And so that's kind of the other way people are making money right now as a Sandbox. So you've got two different things there. I think personally I'd probably specialize in doing one, as opposed to trying both of them. I don't know, like creating assets to me seems a little bit easier than building like full-fledged like game experiences. So I would probably take the building of the assets as the easier option. And yeah, both of these methods are kind of free to get started. You don't have to pay for the application. There's essentially no cost but your time to learn how to use them. But where I see kind of some of the initial problems / challenges here are, I think with starting with the assets and the marketplace, I think once the marketplace becomes open to everyone, you're going to then get an influx of people creating assets. And therefore that's going to drive the price down of the assets and the NFTs, like what has value. And I think if you're just a creator basically submitting assets to the marketplace with no real kind of brand behind it, or nobody knows who you are or anything, I think you'll probably struggle to sell stuff. It's not going to be quite as simple as just listing something that looks really cool and people spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on it, like some of the things that exist there now, because at the moment there isn't that much on there, and some of the stuff on there has like a story and a brand behind it, so people are putting more value on it and are willing to spend more. But like I said, when there's a huge influx of just loads of people and more competition, it's gonna be difficult to sell stuff on there. I think that's going to be a challenge there. And then just looking at the game maker side and what I think the problems and challenges there, I think it's quite a high barrier to entry there. I think creating these games is not going to be easy. It's going to take a while. And with the competitions that exist at the moment, you're coming up against people that that know what they're doing, or they've got game making experience. Some have, some haven't. But yeah, you're coming up against people and teams of people that are building these games. So it's going to be difficult to win these competitions. And they do have prizes up towards, I think, like 10th place in some of them. So there is opportunity. Just because you don't come first, you can still get money. But again, still a high barrier to entry here. I think that's a problem, and it will continue to be a high barrier to entry when it comes to their competitions. However, kind of I've been thinking about it, and I was thinking about okay, you've got the problem with the kind of people creating assets on the marketplace, like with no brand, they're not going to sell. You've got people that are trying to build games, but they're just enter these competitions, but they're coming up against people that are just better at making games than them. And so I thought, actually, what value or suggestion could I make to people watching this video? And I thought, actually, I don't have the time to make assets, nor do I have time to make the game, nor do I want to, right? I don't want to. But if I had all the time in the world and I was like really creative in that area and it was my field, right? What I would do is I would ignore putting assets on the marketplace just made by myself. I would ignore the game maker competitions. I might submit to them just for practice and stuff. What I would do is I would go on to the Sandbox land area, and I would look at all of the people who own land, and I would start to make a list of all of these brands. And then what I would do is I would message them, because the thing is, just as I explained earlier, these people that own the land, they don't have the internal resources to build on these lands. They are going to have to outsource that work, and they're not all outsourcing it through the Sandbox. They won't be. They definitely won't be. There'll be different scales of brands that own different sizes of land. I would imagine a lot of them want to build on the land. And so they need people to do that. And so what I would do if I was an asset builder or a game maker builder, I would start building a portfolio of assets or games, continue to do that, continue to practice, continue to get better. And I would then, as I said, create this long list and then start messaging these brands and say, hi, my name's Ben. I'm creating assets for the Sandbox, or I'm creating games for the Sandbox. Here is my portfolio. This is the things that I've done. Are you looking to hire anyone to help you with creating and developing your land on the Sandbox? And you could go one more than that. If there's a brand that you really, really want to work with on the Sandbox, you could even go away and actually look at their website and look at their kind of assets that they have and their branding, and start creating stuff just for them anyway, and go, look, I've seen that you have this kind of figure or something as part of your brand design, and I've actually created an asset in Vox Edit for it. Like, what do you think? Like, you could do that. That's what I would be doing. I think there's a real opportunity here. These people who have bought land on the Sandbox, right? They have money. They haven't. I mean, there will be people that have bought the land for just to sit on it and let the investment grow and sell it. But there will be a lot of people that have bought land, and I think that don't really know what to do with their land. And I think there's real opportunity for people to come in here and to basically advise them, consult for them, and also help them build. So yeah, that is kind of where I see the opportunity. And then you can also kind of go another step. And if you're a game maker, you can start to think about how they can monetize their land. There are going to be loads of different monetization methods in different lands, depending on different things and what type of game it is, etc. And if you can start to build your portfolio of games and also make sure you've got a strong revenue model / monetization method within the game itself, so you can present your portfolio to these brands and say, look, like, I've got these 5 games. They all have different ways to monetize. Like, what do you think? Because at the end of the day, like, these people also are going to want to make their money back, like, both from buying the land and also investing in you as a creator to help build the land. So if you can offer them a game with a solid monetization model, then I think if you messaged a lot of them, you probably find a few that would reply back to you and say, yeah, we actually do need some help here. And so, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. And if it just gives you an introduction of how people are making money on the Sandbox right now, the problems and challenges that I think that are going to come in the future, but then how you can kind of go and actually look for your own opportunities outside of the kind of Sandbox community ecosystem and start reaching out to people privately to build for them. If you got to this part of the video, hope I gave some value and it was interesting, and it can kind of maybe just help you go away and really think about what your strategy is as a creator of assets or game lands on the Sandbox. And hopefully you can go away and find some clients and make some money. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. And I will continue to be producing just Sandbox related content related to business. I'm really interested from that perspective. I'm just not really sure where it's going to go, but I'm enjoying learning it, and I hope I can just continue to deliver value for people. And I'm amazing at waffling, so I'm going to stop there. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day, and above all, go and get it.